Dan Lawless here, West Ham Fan TV on this dreary afternoon, which really sums up my feelings about West Ham at this moment. And the news is coming out, reports are suggesting that the board are choosing to stick with David Moyes because they feel like, you know, if they was to get another manager, then David Moyes is the sort of manager they would get to replace him, which really sums it up well, doesn't it? That's just a massive kick in the balls about the ambitions of this club and what they want to achieve. We want to get rid of David Moyes. We're looking at just another Moyes, you know, no Poches, no Tuchels. I know we got sort of carried away. You want the ambition. Try, slap the money down. People, you know, expect fans to go, well, who would you get? Who would you get? Guess what? It's not our job to choose who's the manager going to be, right? We expect the people in those positions, right, who are being paid a lot of money to know who we should get. You got Rob Newman there, who's our chief scout, who we signed from Manchester City, who, you know, identified a lot of these players. Moyes gave the green light on these players, so I'm not going to have any blame for him when it comes to the signings, because I like the players that we've got. But you have someone like a Rob Newman there. Surely he should be looking at profiles of managers out there in leagues, you know, all across the world, and saying, okay, what manager would fit this group of players, the way that West Ham want to play, to build something, build a style of play that's and an identity in the club. You know, look at Graham Potter, right? Before Brighton got him, no one really knew Graham Potter was. You know, he was managing in Europe. He weren't a household name, so everyone's thinking about obvious names, right? You get your Poch, your Tuchel, who's not going to come. I wanted Mancini, or like people are thinking, oh, it's going to be Dyche. There's no way. What is the point of getting a Dyche with this crop of players? I just look at it and I go, look, it doesn't matter who I want at the end of the day, because they're going to get. If they do eventually sack him, which I think they're going to, if they don't sack him, we're going to get relegated. I truly believe that Moyes will take us down. I think he's lost the dressing room. I think he's lost any idea, any clue about how to progress with this team. He just doesn't seem to know how to manage a big squad. He squeezed every little drop of, you know, fight of ability out of that team last season, right, and the season before. That he rinsed that squad, and he got as much as he could get out of them. And now we've given him £170 million. I mean, we ain't just gone backwards, we fell off a cliff. If the board choose to stick with this man, I think they're really playing with fire, and we cannot afford to get relegated. You know, after spending all of that money now, we go down into the Championship, there's no guarantee we come up. And it's just a waste. It's a massive shame from where we got to as a club, you know, which David Moyes gets credit for it. But what's the point of getting there to just get relegated? It's not like he ain't got credit in the bank like he would have if he'd won the trophy. If he'd won that Europa League, I'd be a lot more forgiving, and I'd be one of the people going, let's give him a chance, let's give him a chance. But no, 5 defeats in a row. You can't have that. And I can't, people are saying, oh, there's worse teams. Who are the teams worse than us in the league, really? I think Southampton, you know, you might argue Southampton, but I believe they've got a new manager, so they've got a chance to have a fresh idea to turn things around. Wolves, new manager. We go there soon. We never win there. Everton, neck and neck with them, maybe. Nottingham Forest. I think we are one of the 3 worst teams in the league right now. And I don't see where the win's coming from. We need to pull that trigger. Just rip the Band-Aid off, or the plaster, as we call it in England. Whoever it is, get Newman and Noble, who's going to be the director of football. He's involved too. I hope he's been doing his homework. I've seen he's come out and backed Moyes and suggested that it's, you know, apparently it's just people on the internet, it's just social media that want him out. I promise you, you'll be very surprised, and I think that's a bit out of touch if that's what he thinks. So Moyes needs to take his personal feelings out of it, because I know he had a relationship with Moyes, you know, he played under him. And he needs to work closely with Rob Newman and identify, get some names, get a list together. Get it done now. It should have already been done in the World Cup, at least. If they weren't going to sack him, before the World Cup was the time to sack him, right? We would have had that ample opportunity. But if you weren't going to at least do that, at least prepare. Draw the names up. Get your top choice, your number one choice, and we work down. So you go Poch. Poch says piss off, right? Okay, then Tuchel, and then you work down, right? So that's what I hope they're doing. But it's very bleak, like this weather, very bleak news, and I don't know what it's going to take. So look out for the fan cams anyway. But in my opinion, Moyes needs to go.